Hello, and welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church, or Church McGurch, and welcome to Madman Review. Today we're going to be looking at Moonlighter. Between the Dimensions. That's actually the DLC. This is another one where you can play mouse and keyboard, or controller. I prefer this game and roguelites. I prefer on controller, just because it's easier switching between the buttons, and a lot of the times the keyboard is just keyboard, not keyboard and mouse. So let's load new game plus new game. So let's just continue. I don't know how many hours I have technically on this game, but I have gone through and beaten it, and have gone through and beaten the final dungeon. So it kind of shows you a map of, this is the base content. Storage, as you upgrade, you can store things. So these are all different kinds of rings I've found. My only true issue with this game is that there's very little hold to sleep. There's very little explanation to things. You kind of have to be like, oh, okay, this is this, put it in your inventory, equip it, and then while you're equipping it, look at what it does first, just seeing what it is. As you upgrade your house and you upgrade everything, you get different items and more storage. So you can see I've upgraded all these, and now since I've got the DLC, I believe I paid for the DLC. I've upgraded, because this is not how your shop normally looks. This is after the DLCs you've gone through and you've played the DLC. You get like all this kind of futuristic stuff. So you also have here, you have a lockbox where you can store items, because anything in your home, nothing can happen to it at night or during the day. Everything here is safe, but anything you put out here, there's a chance that stuff can be stolen from you at night or during the day. You can also hire people, like this lady here. You can eventually hire her, and she'll sit here and act as basically security, or she'll chase birds away and things. That'll basically distract you, or distract your shoppers from purchasing stuff. Or you can go off into the dungeon, and she can sell things for you at the cost of 30%. 30% of what you sell. These were glass cases, and essentially, like, you can't steal. The items from this can't be stolen, just can't be grabbed and run. It's kind of like a display case. You put in like a really expensive item, and then the sale bin. And then throughout the play, you can find these items, and then these items essentially do bonuses for you, and it tells you what they do. Like, I believe one of them is like reduces the chance of, repels thieves. And as you can see, you can have a bunch of them up. There's like 1, 2, 3. There's a 4, 5, 6. And this is fully upgraded. The other thing you can put down is you can put down these little decorations around your register. You can see on your register yourself where you can sell, set up items. So kind of that farm do-esque kind of thing, with the more of the I've gone out and collected them through dungeons more than farming, as there is no farming in this. You can't farm. It's just you go into a dungeon, you gather your stuff, and then you go. You can also gather pets. I don't have all the pets, because I've missed a couple, and some are from the DLC that I kind of just ran through and just completed because I wanted to get it done. Just because this game was good, but it's not one of the greatest that I've played, because crafting is kind of a pain in the ass. So you have to grab the items from the dungeon, and then you have to bring the items to this guy, and then he can craft them for you. As you can see, I currently own these items, but to make this item, I need that item, so it's kind of a consistent upgrade. And you'd think, oh, okay, but now if I want to sell said item, I would then have to start at the bottom and go all the way up. If I don't have the materials, I don't have anything. As you can see, I have a lot of money, and most of that was just selling shit I found in the dungeon. So it's actually a lot easier to go and just get stuff, sell the base materials, rather than craft them and then try to sell the crafting. So you can see each of these do something different. The guy I currently have a fire slime from the desert dungeon that gives the burning effect to its master's weapon. So basically I can set things on fire, which in this game I found to be pretty damn good. All this technology came from the new dungeon. You can see all the townspeople. This guy is kind of where you buy all the different things. As you can see, I have everything but the new stuff. I haven't really gone over here and looked to see like what he can give me. They're all 60,000, so they're all quite a pretty penny. You know what? Let's buy that. Hey, I'll buy that. I've got tons of money. I'm not too worried about it. 60,000. Drop in the bucket. I'll just buy them out. Because I would have done this anyways if I would have realized he had new stuff. It hurt, but I now have all of them, which you can see they all do different things. Increases the time the shop can be open. Hagglers will offer better deals. Increases the time the shop can. Increases thieves. You know, stuff like that. And you have different areas. A lot of this you can't really go into. Potions. You can come in and you can craft your own potions to take with you. You can enhance your gear. As you can see, this is all gear that can be enhanced. All my gear is pretty much maxed out. This is all stuff I kind of had, and I was planning on selling it, but I was like, you know what? No, I have this weapon. It does that much damage with fire, but now if I use my current weapon with the fire slime, I'm doing more damage, plus I get the fire damage because of the fire slime. So technically, you know, I've done more damage with one than the other. Investments. So this is how you increase everything. All these guys obviously are maxed out. And this is how you also build your shop. Now, obviously, I've maxed this all out. As you can see, actually you can't see, but my face is covering it. There's a thing that says Moonlighter on it. And that means I've purchased it. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. You can come over here, and sometimes this guy will have materials that you normally would get in the dungeons, but you can purchase it instead of having to go and get it. And these are then used to build certain gear stuff you could then resell or use. Since I'm at that point where I don't need it, I don't need it. Random slime. So the landscape and everything is pretty barren. There's not a whole heck of a lot to the game in essence, other than you're just going to be selling things. That's all you're really going to be doing, is going into the dungeon, completing it, getting items to sell, coming back. So here's the normal dungeon. To come through, basically, you'd have to beat each one in a key. Once you have all the keys, you can then come through and go into the final dungeon. Once all the keys are done and you've purchased or got the DLC, this other dungeon will pop up and you can go into this future dungeon, future tech kind of world dungeon, and see all the random kind of worlds converging, kind of weird storyline that it brings. But unfortunately, this is a roguelite. This is kind of one of those things where you can go in, but if you die, you lose stuff. I believe there's a way to get out without dying, if I remember correctly. CNC, I have all 4 keys there at the bottom. All my gear, my rings, my potions. Left, right trigger. See, this is where you can finally see what a ring does. So you kind of have to like look it up in your journal, and then it shows you like how much things are worth. So if you find this stuff, you can sell it, and then it shows you if you have sold it, how much you sold it for, and where they were at when so that guy was super excited because he got a great deal and I sold it to him for 3,000. That guy was happy, but he got it for 5,000. Super excited, you know, different things like that. But then it kind of tells you anything above this, like these 2 rings. These would technically, I don't believe these are sellable, but this is the like 5,000 cap. Like this guy would probably be, I sold one to a guy for 7,000. He was not too happy about it, but this thing would probably be worth about, 5,000. Same thing with these, 16,000. Sold one to a guy for 7,000. He was super happy because that's literally less than half the price. Sold happy. Sold these for 3,000, 6,000. So it kind of shows you. Same thing with the final dungeon. Kind of shows you. Merchant. This just kind of shows you gear, other things. I've pretty much only stuck with 1 piece of gear. I really haven't sold anything from the new dungeon, or found much from the new dungeon, because I just kind of went in, beat it, left. I didn't want to do that. So eventually, as you go through, this one has a pretty steep death curve, should I say, and a kind of a steep learning curve. So I really don't want to go in here and die. I just kind of want to go in and show some of the nuances of the game. So block, sword. There's roll. And so this is just kind of a procedurally generated new enemies, kind of try to hit them, dodge. I have like a shield from my armor, so I can take several hits without actually taking damage. Ow. As you can see, that guy's like electrified and he does damage to me. This is on fire now because of that. Ow. Not a huge fan of this combat. It's really slow. But once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. Like it's a matter of just hitting and rolling away. Hit, roll. Let me out, let me out, let me out. roll, hit, roll. Not really my style, not really what I like to do. I like to get a couple hits in, then roll away. Or like get a combo or something. But that's also why I like the fire. I can hit them, they get fire on them. There we go. So we're looking at our inventory. These are all the different things I've got. The other thing I can do is if I get an item I don't like, this is one of the upgrades, I can take it, I can grab it and be like, yeah, this thing's kind of worthless. And then it just destroys it, but it also sells it. So I'm not just getting rid of it. This merchant pendant, it allows me to return from the dungeon in exchange for gold. And this cube merchant emblem, it allows me to open up a portal, which then I can come back to in case like I get to a point and I'm like, oh shit, my inventory's run out, but I don't want to just end the dungeon. So I pay 1,000 gold, I can come back. It's also a good way in case like you run out of potions. You can be like, oh snap. Ooh. Ow. I don't like these guys because I don't like those guys because they steal items out of your pack. Ow. 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 The main thing I wanted to show was that this game also has this. So, destroys one artifact in the direction shown upon returning to town. So you can see the arrows pointing that way. So now, to negate that, if I point the arrow away from something, it no longer can destroy anything. This one destroys one artifact curse in the direction shown when placed. So when I put it in my inventory, it'll destroy an item. The way to negate that, again, is to put it someplace where it can't do anything. Boom. And that's every time I place it. So if I move this and I put it here, it'll destroy that, destroy that, destroy that, destroy that. Question mark. Artifact remains hidden when currently in dungeon. So I just pick it up. I'm pretty low on health. I'll right trigger it to take a potion. Eventually you will find like a hot spring, which I just wasted a potion. This will heal so much damage. I forget exactly what the number is, but you can come back until it basically becomes unpure, and then at that point you no longer kill it. Oh, and then you can't. Yes, there are pits where you can fall and die. There's not much cover in this room, unfortunately. And this is another one where running into enemies hurts. So another thing that can happen is that this artifact must be placed in the right or the left of the bag. You can kind of see the arrow lines. So I could put it here. This one, again, destroys artifact curse in the direction when placed. It's pointing up like that. I wanted to grab all. Why aren't you grabbing all? Okay. I don't get why it's not. But I can circumnavigate the issue by doing that. Same thing with this. Destroys one artifact in the direction. Boom. I'm all good. Now, I don't think I have enough technically in my inventory to justify teleporting out. But I would also rather not die. As time, you lose everything. I don't remember if that includes gear. I don't think it includes my gear, but I do think I lose a lot of gold and stuff. That I have. But as for other parts of the game, there's not too much in the way of puzzles. There's some stuff here and there, but it's pretty spread out. It's not like you're gonna, like other roguelites, where you're gonna run into I can teleport. And there's the boss, or I can teleport home for free. I'm gonna teleport home for free just because I'm only doing a review, and that's pretty much, that is the game. Everything I've shown you, that is Moonlighter. This shows you I've opened 2 chests, what enemies I killed, what items I got out with. Like, that mysterious item turned out to be 2 old textbooks, my gear, everything like that. B to return to town. The reason why I decided I wanted to do a review on this game is because there is a Moonlighter 2 coming out. I don't know if it's going to be exactly called Moonlighter 2. Oh, that's another thing I bought with this new update. Is I got a Roomba. The Roomba, you would have to clean or hire someone to clean. But the Roomba now does it for you in this update. Also, another thing, I love the music, but bad for a review. As you can see, music volume 1, sound volume 1, GUI volume 1. And those clicks are pretty loud looking at my volume. Now I'm going to turn the music on. It's a lot while I'm trying to do a review. I mean, when the recording's being watched, it might not be too horrendous, but while I'm trying to review and I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to say things, hearing that kind of drowns out my own voice, so I can't be like, okay, that's what I said, now I can go to the next thing. But it doesn't have bad music. It's just, it's that loud on 1. So now I can go back, look through everything I got. Probably could sell most of these for the majority of what I spent on the potions. The stack sizing is pretty weak. A lot of this stuff I'd be keeping anyways, just because I need it for the newer armor and stuff like that. To upgrade for the newer armors. But yeah, I'm excited for Moonlighter 2. I believe it's Moonlighter 2 that's coming out. So I wanted to do a review of this game just because people are going to see Moonlighter 2 and be like, oh, that looks interesting. It's kind of Farmville, Stardew-esque, but more fighting roguelite with the whole shop aspect. So I'd say like another really good game that I love that I've done a review on is Sail Blazers. This game, I played this game and beat it before Sail Blazers came out, and I love Sail Blazers. But the only problem with Sail Blazers is that it's just not updating as much as I'd like. Whereas this game is done. They put out their DLC and then they started working on the second game or another game. I'm not sure what this company did, but they started working on the next game or whatever. And they did a good job. Like, I have no issues with this game other than the combat is really slow and the boss fights are just a slog. Sometimes they had really cool mechanics that you could go back and forth on. Other times it was just kind of like, I could have done without this. And then there's random bosses that'll pop up here and there in dungeons. As every certain amount of levels, you'll get like little mini bosses that are just kind of like, why? And then you'll find miniature versions of the mini bosses. But it's not what I wanted to do. But I'm excited for the second game. I hope that they've improved it. I hope they've added a lot more content. Yeah, as you can see right there. Well, looking at my camera now, you can't see right there. There's an advertisement in the bottom right-hand corner from Moonlighter to the Endless Vault. So I'm excited to see that come around. I'm excited to see what they've done, what improvements they've made, what the new stuff, new things, new mechanics, new just whatever. So I'm excited when that comes out. I'll beat it. I'll do a review about it and let you guys know what I think. So until then, you be you, you stay you, and most importantly, adventure on.